What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on MMTLP and FINRA saga.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed, born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And guys, for today's video I have several news. Unfortunately, the majority of them are not so good for MMTLP community and definitely you will not like them. But some of these news are again quite promising, and to be honest guys, we shouldn't surrender, we have to fight, and I have to admit that I will support any efforts from MMTLP community in order to see the resolution. So, before we dive deep into all of these, guys, please hit the like button for YouTube algorithm and drop me a line in the comment section for whatever reasons you want. So, first of all, I want to pay attention to the news, and unfortunately, guys, I see the division, clear division into two camps for the entire MMTLP community, and unfortunately it is happening right now, and it is the worst thing that is happening right now. On top of that, guys, let me show you this tweet that was written by Sam IM, and she wrote it just yesterday. Big MMTLP space with meta guy Murdoch, Karma collects, and Karma collects with more discussion of MMTLP sabotage by the Fort Bragg military shields. Dine Lauthin. And guys, I have to admit that some people from MMTLP community, you can see Meta Guy Murdoch, Joanna, Due Diligence, Costas, and other community members who want the resolution of MMTLP case. They don't want to see the actions that were initiated by Daniel, your favorite SGM, and by Scott Roth. Because guys, for now let me explain you the entire picture. We have the problem of U3 halt of MMTLP shares, and this was made by FINRA, and FINRA did it, and they basically violated several rules that were crucial in order to make this decision. But this is only the ending result. The reason why they did it is the actions that were performed by crooks, by hedge funds and market makers who shorted the MMTLP stock to oblivion, and who opened a substantial number of short positions with potential naked short sales on MMTLP stock. At the same time, guys, why did they do it? It is a very legitimate question. And they did it potentially because of the actions of the company itself. And I have to admit that with the most recent updates, I see this picture. Guys, you know that I'm unbiased and I can see the entire situation out of the box. And in my opinion, for now, we can clearly identify that the beginning of the problem was in the company itself. And in today's video, I will explain you my point of view. So guys, let me show you this tweet that was written by Dead and Roblox, and it was written on November the 10th, right after the university leases cancelled the agreement of for Orogrande Basin with NextBridge Hydrocarbons. And he wrote, talked to someone who was intimately familiar with MMTLP and NextBridge Hydrocarbons dealings with university lands. They are not currently up to date on the extension denial, but they were present in the beginning. It kind of put into perspective how full circle things had come. And guys, I will read you these tweets in details, and you will see a more clear picture out of this information. So, he added, when NBH announced the lease denial, they threw this crap a bone in an attempt to give delusional shareholders some hope that the party wasn't over yet. The bone was and almost certainly small interest in some super deep Wilcox gas crop in Louisiana. This is interesting because I remember about 5 years ago there was someone in Midland who was tooting this deep gas crop that was likely difficult to drill and terribly expensive. I will refer to this person as Mr. Smith because his name hasn't been public and I like him. So when founders bought these hotspot leases from Arabella, I had always assumed that founders was run by a particular management team of a very sophisticated professionals. I was wrong. Those guys didn't get to founders until later. Turns out Mr. Smith was running founders then. So apparently Mr. Smith and Rich Masterson and I guess McCabe were running this thing and would go into meetings with UL and show them that they were up to. They had intervals that looked potentially like a wolf camp along. They had some oil shows, but drilling was tough. They had no infrastructure out there. This is dead land, nowhere near an oil field. They had to truck water about 100 miles round trip just to be able to do anything. I was told that their fracs would just demolish the rock, but that sounds strange. I bet it was more ductile. So they had a decent story that maybe they might be onto something. At some point Mr. Smith vanished. I assumed to go work on his deep Louisiana crop. And Masterson, who had run all over town looking for someone to take this deal, also fell into the shadows. I would assume that this is where the train came off the rails. Burda and company show up and pump this crop with stupid bird people talking about crop they don't understand and literally can't even spell. Of course, Burda and them pillaged the equity before scuttling the company and formally handing the keys back to McCabe. McCabe, now very wealthy from all of this, doesn't want to be the captain of the USS All That No Oil. So he brings in a series of roughly 40 years old dorks who are all smart enough to figure out that this is a effing dumpster fire and they hit the road. Now, like the living scene from Jerk into Jig is up, all based on lies. But the Louisiana bone was thrown to delusional cult, a bone which I assume originated with Mr. Smith, and we are full circle. In case you are wondering, I asked for a friend if Mr. Smith's deep Louisiana gas crop ever worked. He said it will work at some gas price. Now I'm no reservoir engineer, but my only response to that was ha ha ha, because that means that crop ain't going to work anytime soon. So guys, this means Louisiana asset that was given to the shareholders in exchange for Orogrande Basin is another dead end, is another smoke and mirrors. And guys, you might wonder who this person is, Dead and Roblox. And if you try to search in his Twitter account MMTLP abbreviation, you will see a lot of tweets, and some of them even show me and show us that the Orogrande Basin was also smoke and mirrors. And guys, if it is the reality, and no one at this very point can blame anyone without the judge's decision, but if it is the reality, definitely someone needs to answer under the oath. And guess who these people might be? I think it is the C-levels executives from Torchlight Energy, NextBridge Hydrocarbons and MMTLP. So I think we are starting to realize that the problem is much deeper, and it is connected very, very close together with the U3 halt. So let me show you this tweet, and guys, this is the evidence that the people who are trying to blame Scott and Daniel are not so clear that they pretend to be. Let me quote you this tweet that was written by Scott just 2 hours ago. And he refers to the tweet that was written by Daniel Spears. Let me show you this in details. Again, she refers to another tweet that was written back in the days, and she refers to the Joanna R. Intel tweet. And here you can see the tweet itself. It takes one to know one. Welcome to the Clowns and Basher Club, Jonah. In March, Jonah at our put together a request for shareholders' information addressed to the board of directors at MMAT, signed by approximately 120 shareholders. A company now in bankruptcy, screwing shareholders out of millions. We have legitimate questions of NBH, just like the shareholders of MMAT. As shareholders, we have a right to ask questions and be provided answers. Joanna knows this. I guess the letter has to be her idea in order for it to be appropriate. And guys, Joanna blamed Scott and Daniel that they shouldn't ask Greg McCabe and board of directors tough questions about MMTLP case. But guys, they did the same, exactly the same back in March. And let me show you next tweet. Daniel Spears wrote, "Cat got your tongue, Joanna." And Scott wrote to this. Daniel outs yet another one of McCabe guardians online. The whole circus tent is collapsing now on Burda and McCabe. After 2 years of utter deliberate mismanagement and Hitler in the bunker called madness from the likes of Junk Savian, Busy Brands and good old Joanna, the chickens are all coming home to roost. And he also added this. In response to his tweet, Bucky wrote this: "I don't get it. Why is protecting out in McCabe important to shareholders looking for supply-demand resolution?" And Scott responded, "Because he's covering for the hedge funds by running NBH into bankruptcy. He and Burda wanted all the shares into AST at max allotment so they could be obliterated and they could wash their hands of the U3 halt effects and prevent us from getting a settlement." So guys, quite interesting conclusion, and I have to admit that it is Scott's opinion, and I just read his opinion to you. And Bucky also wrote, "Why would they do that? It doesn't affect them if brokers force close position." And Scott responded, "Sure does. Brokers can't force close private securities. Once in AST, you are trapped." And guys, this is quite scary. This becomes even more scary with this tweet. Bucky responded, "Okay," and Scott added, "Buck, that's why I had the filing on November the 9th to get AST shares back to brokers before McCabe files bankruptcy." So, guys, be cautious with the shares at AST. Definitely, it is out of my understandings and it is out of my knowledge. But if Scott is right, this means your shares at AST might be in trouble. And to prevent basically these troubles, Scott filed a letter to transfer his shares back to broker. And guys, if you know how this system works, please DM me and give me your opinion in regards to this problem, because if it is the reality, a lot of people, hundreds if not thousands of MMTLP shareholders are in trouble. And I think this is the most important part of today's video. But at the same time, guys, John Burda, in response to these allegations, didn't post any tweet, and he basically extremely silent, as well as Greg McCabe is, because we have two set of questions from two different people. One set of questions was sent to him from Scott, and the second set of questions was sent to him from Daniel. And Daniel will file a lawsuit, and it will be the second lawsuit on the table. And by the way, guys, we have another update in regards to another lawsuit that is basically still on the table, but I will show you this in just a couple of minutes. So guys, we have a deadline for Greg McCabe to answer the questions from Daniel, and this deadline is set for November the 30th, the end of November the 30th. And the second deadline is December the 4th, where Daniel will file a lawsuit if Greg McCabe doesn't answer. And yes, we have two closest deadlines, and guys, I have to admit that for now this information might be not so pleasant for you, but do you remember, let me ask you a question, do you remember how many lawsuits did we have back in the days? Let me remind you, the first lawsuit was filed by Rosa Tawil, and it was filed, as you can see, on December the 12th of 2022, right after the illegal U3 halt was implemented. But this case, let me quote you the latest update that was made on May 24th of 2023. Order denying the motion to reconsider the denial of a preliminary injunction, dismissing the original complaint, denying leave to file the first amended complaint, and setting a deadline for any motion for leave to file a second amended complaint. The motion to reconsider is denied. The motion to dismiss is granted. The original complaint is dismissed. The motion for leave to amend is denied. The deadline for Ms. Tawil to move for leave to file a second amended complaint is June 15th of 2023. And this case is technically still open, but to be honest, this deadline has passed and we don't know any updates from Rosa. The second lawsuit that was filed back in April 17th of 2023 was dismissed on September 25th, 2023, and it is the Jae-Yoon Park versus E-Trade. And I have to admit that we lost this case. Next one, huge case that was filed by Alan Hensley versus TD Ameritrade, and as you can see, there is 13 parties in this case, and he mentioned a lot of companies: GTS Securities, Global Trading System, Schwab, TD Ameritrade, Waterhouse Securities, and a lot of other defendants. And this case was dismissed on October the 2nd of 2023. The next case is Richard Hoffman versus Fidelity, and it was terminated on May the 8th. It was basically switched to the arbitration, and arbitration itself was cancelled by Richard Hoffman. And guys, the only reason why we've lost all of these cases, and by the way, we also had recently the case that was filed with the help of Mark Basil. It is a Horasani case, and it was also denied by the judge. And for now, we have, guys, take a look right here. Mark Basil made another update in his case. Intercoastal Waterways is appealing the decision in Intercoastal Waterways versus TradeStation Securities to the 11th Circuit. Some news before the Thanksgiving Day. By the way, guys, happy Thanksgiving Day to all of you. And let me show you this document in details. Please take notice that plenty of intercoastal waterways by and through their undersigned counsel in the above-named case hereby appeals to the United States Court of Appeals for the 11th Circuit to appeal from the attached order entered October 28, 2024, attached hereto as Exhibit 1, which 1. Granted defendant TradeStation Securities motion to compel arbitration, dated July 9, 2024, and 2. Denied plaintiff's cross motion to disqualify, dated August 16, 2024, and 3. State the action pending the resolution of arbitration proceedings. And guys, Mark himself made this tweet again. The huge ship is firing all of its guns, and Dead and Roblox, again, Dead and Roblox wrote this 12 hours ago. You know, you still might be able to represent NBH in bankruptcy court, so there's always that. And Mark wrote in response to him, LOL, there is plenty of material to take action on in this community, wait for it. So guys, does it mean that it is another tip from Mark that he will disclose another set of information that might lead to some huge updates? Time will tell, I don't know at this very moment. But at the same time, guys, let me show you quite interesting update. 9 hours ago, Mark Basil wrote this. I'm going to Roman Soup's upcoming space. Will you join too? And unfortunately, this Mark basically didn't attend to this space call, but instead of this, Daniel made very good statements in this space call, and I highly encourage you to listen to this podcast. It is not so long, about 1 hour long, but right after this you will know much more about Daniel's intention to file a lawsuit against Greg McCabe and NextBridge Hydrocarbons. And guys, let me tell you my personal story. I have a wife and 2 children aged 11 and 15, as well as a small dog. After 30 years of living in Russia near the Baikal Lake, we decided to move. Now we reside in Serbia. Although I don't own any MMTLP shares, I invest a lot of time creating daily MMTLP videos. I have been doing this every day without days off and holidays for more than 1.5 years. Now I wish to buy back this time from my family, from my children. We've agreed that I will ask the MMTLP community to support me, and I will give all the money to the children. Therefore, if you believe that I am providing useful content for you and wish to support me, you can join my Patreon account. For $5 a month, I will add your name to my list of supporters if you wish. Thank you in advance. The link you can find in the description below. So, I think that's all information that I want to provide you. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, and see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed.